Stand up or die on your knees. A girl leaves her hat on, but she holds her right hand over her heart. Welcome to Attack and Adventures today. Today we're in Fort Fisher Museum, the brand new one. It is free to get in here. Confederate soldiers, along with African Americans and American Indians, forced to be here, performed the difficult task of transforming this land into the largest earthen fort in the South. The fort they built protected blockade runners sailing in and out of Wilmington. There's the map of Fort Fisher and Cape Fear River. Here's the Confederate artillery projectiles. This is probably some of the stuff they found out on the beach or in the fort. There's women at the fort. I'll show you out this window what it looks, the trees in the fort looks like. There's the fort. Before you couldn't even walk into that hill right there underneath. Now you can, I guess. And they put new fencing up around it. And there's the trees. And there, the battle over there at Fort Fisher was over on that shore over there. If you ever saw the movie Glory, that was that battle was on this beach. Life in the U.S. Navy. Ships were often crewed by men of different races and nationalities. Sailors lived and worked in stifling hot or bitterly cold, cramped, close quarters. Their assignments were grueling and dangerous. The Navy kept sailors on board for months at a time, concerned that they may desert once ashore. To combat the monotony, sailors sang, danced, played practical jokes, roughhoused, and gambled. There's a cannonball. Vessels of freedom. With the U.S. Navy stationed just off of the coast, dozens of African Americans found ways to free themselves by reaching the ships. Some provided the Navy with intelligence of Confederate forts, troop movements, and local shipbuilding operations. Naval officers encouraged the men to join the crews. African Americans, both free-born and formerly enslaved, compromised nearly 25% of the crew of blockading fleet. Women and children were taken to port as soon as practical. Here's some of the guns. Infield muskets. .28. Let's see what that is. A Whitworth bolt, number 28. Which is that? Number 37, which is this. Copper ignite. Underwater archaeology found that. I think these are lead ignites. They're about 150 pounds each. They form a blockade runner. They're from a blockade runner. Modern Greece would have been used by Confederates to manufacture items such as bullets. Electric torpedo. Confederates made the waters around Fort Fisher as treacherous as possible for the U.S. Navy. Experienced pilots usually boarded blockade runners and guided them through the river's natural and man-made obstructions. The electric torpedo anchored to the bottom of the river or inlet, including a watertight plug which sealed the powder inside. Insulated wires connected to it. A detonating switch on shore. When an observer closed a circuit current from batteries on land, heated a platinum wire inside the torpedo, causing the mercury fulminate inside to explode the charge. And this was the trade map. The railroads and docks of Wilmington made this port vital to supply the Confederate forces. So Bermuda to the Bahamas to Wilmington. Here's all the artillery. By the fall of 1864, Wilmington was the only open Confederate port with railroad access to General Robert Lee's Army of North Virginia. Determined to cut off all imported war material, U.S. forces planned to attack Fort Fisher, the key to the Wilmington's defenses. On December 24th through the 25th of 1864, U.S. warships bombarded Fort Fisher. The Navy shells destroyed the barracks headquarters and several cannons. There's some guns that they would use and the bullets. And I think that number 5 is gun. Oh, it's a pistol and powder measure. Number 5. I think that's a Purple Heart. Let's see. Congressional Medal. Confederate sailors and Marines opened fire on the advancing army during the Second Battle on January 15, 1865. Major James Riley, then the acting commander, surrendered the fort. After U.S. forces took control of Wilmington in February 1865, the Confederacy no longer possessed a significant port. Confederate armies could no longer import vital ammunition and supplies. On April 9, 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrendered his army at Virginia. About 2 weeks later, Confederate General Joseph Johnston surrendered at Bennett Place in modern-day Durham, North Carolina. Confederate forces continued to surrender, with the final troops laying down arms in June. The Civil War was over. Americans tried to make sense of the causes, costs, and consequences of the war across the nation. People formed different answers. America entered an uneasy peace. This is a number 3 is Jewett Patent Leg. David Allen received this Jewett Patent Leg in 1866. He served in Company K 40 Regiment, North Carolina Troop 3rd North Carolina Artillery. He was wounded during the Second Battle of Fort Fisher with his leg later amputated. Memories in Stone, which this monument is across the street on the other side. The United Daughters of Confederacy unveiled the Fort Fisher Monument dedicated to the memory of Confederate soldiers. North Carolina UDC chapter president Cecil Long said the monument here was gloriously displayed the indomitable spirit of the boy soldier of the Confederacy, and here are grateful.
Attention visitors, the time is now 4 p.m. The Visitor Center and main parking lot will be closing in 1 hour. The earthwork exhibit, balcony, and orientation theater will be closing in 30 minutes. And the gift shop will be closing soon.
And here are grateful people have taken pride in inscribing the history on imperishable stone. The battle flag, seen here at the dedication, remains a divisive and controversial symbol of the Confederacy and the American Civil War today. And there is an unknown soldier on the base of that monument. Number 19 is a medal made from a cannon captured by New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts regiments at Fort Fisher were issued to attendees of the 33rd National Encampment of the Grand Army of the Republic in Philadelphia. Number 22, revolver. This was uncovered artifact. U.S. sailors dropped these on the beach during their attack on the Northeast basin during the Second Battle of Fort Fisher. There's American flag. I think we're stepping up to World War II. "54th Coast Artillerymen drilling identified members of the 54th Coast Artillery Regiment prepared to fire the 155 millimeter gun. These coastal defense weapons could fire a round over 9 miles. The 54th Regiment was the first regiment trained here for approximately 6 weeks in October through November 1941. The little calibers or 50 caliber bullets, and those are dummy shells, the big ones. So here's the fort that we're walking to. We're going to go inside the fort where they opened it up at. Be the first time we ever seen that. That's what the museum looks like. The older one I thought was better than that one. They didn't have like what they used to. I guess they tried to modernize it to the day, I guess, for the days. Just imagine, I think the water came up to all the way right there where them trees are back in the day, and this was the fort. What you think, Irene? The water used to come up to the sides? I think so too. You got some sun today. The gates closed at 4, so we got, I think, an hour. This is neat. I wonder how they held all the dirt down. I wonder if the ghosts roam in here at night. Anybody here speaking to the microphone? Because this used to be closed, so I won't know anything until I play this back. And it's free to go in there into the museum. If you want, you can donate money if you want to. That's creepy. There's a gun up there. Oh. I wonder if they had excavators. Or, let's look up there. Hey. I wonder if they had archaeologists combing out the dirt while digging the holes. Big cannon. See those trees over there bent? They've been there forever. It don't matter. We can go back that way if we want. We're seeing the back side. Unless they opened it up back there. Yeah, that was it of this. So thanks for watching Attack and Adventures today, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want any merch, go to attackandadventures.shop. You get a pair of free sunglasses with anything that you buy until supplies last. So y'all go attack the day in your neighborhood. And thanks for watching.